Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's make chapatis with ghee today. And so with me I have warm water, I have sugar, I have ghee, I have salt, and I have flour and the mixing bowl and the cooking stick, now the measuring cup. So let's get started. In my mixing bowl I'm going to put in 3.5 to 4 cups of flour, and that's what I'm doing right now using my measuring cup. So that's 3.5. I'm going in with the salt. With time you realize you get the correct amount of salt depending on the amount of flour that you have, and also the sugar, but sugar is optional for chapatis. And then I'm going to go in with 3 tablespoons of ghee, I added in a half cup of flour to just make it exactly 4. So 1, 2, and 3 tablespoons of ghee. So I'm going to mix these to ensure they're mixed evenly. The ingredients are mixed evenly, as you can see. Then I'm going in with 2 cups of water, depending on the amount of flour that you have. 2 cups of flour are equivalent to 1 cup of water. So with me I had 4 cups of flour. That's why I'm putting in 2 cups of water. That's warm water, or either way you can use cold water, just as you would prefer, but both ways you can try both and know what works best for you. For me, what works best for me is the warm water. So I'm first mixing with the cooking stick. This is a hack I learned over time, that when you start kneading your flour with cooking stick, you're in a better position to make a softer dough than mixing with the hands from the start, because mikono zitakudanganya eti dough yako iko smooth enough, but once you make the chapatis you realize they're not even soft, they're hard. And so that's the secret. After kneading with the cooking stick, I went in with my hands. I applied oil on my hands, then started kneading with my hands. So that's what I'm doing right now. After kneading, the dough is ready. I added in some oil just to soften it up and also to finish up the kneading process. Then cover it up and wait for some time. So my dough is ready, as you can see. I'm just finishing up. Then I'm going to cover it with a wet towel, a wet kitchen towel. I noticed that covering with a wet kitchen towel makes your dough more softer over time, and it doesn't have to take longer while waiting for you to make the chapatis. So ukisha cover with a kind of wet towel, it takes you a shorter time for it to settle and be softer. So at this point I'm just going to cover with the wet towel, then let it settle for like 20 to 30 minutes. It will be ready for me to make the chapati balls and then make the chapatis. So the dough settled for like 30 minutes. And so let's prepare our kneading and rolling surface. So I'm going to do it in 2 batches because the surface is too small for the whole of it. For the whole dough, it's big as you can see. So I'm rolling it, I'm spreading on the surface, and then I'll be applying some oil, or you can either use ghee still, you can use butter, you can use margarine, depending on what you prefer while making the chapati balls. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to spread oil, then cut into smaller pieces, then make the chapati balls. This is actually an easier way of making chapati, though naonanga kuna watu who prefer when they're making the balls, they divide the dough into smaller pieces, then they roll the pieces, then put oil on the pieces. But for me, this one was easier. But either way, the chapatis will turn out perfectly, just depending on your preference. So the size of my balls is medium to large. As you can see, it's for home consumption. So if you're doing chapatis for commercial purposes, you have to make your doughs depending on the prices of your chapati. But for this, it's for home consumption. I've never done chapatis for commercial purposes. And so but people wenye wamefanya hizo biashara za chapati wanajua the size of the dough depending on their prices. And so my balls are ready, and right now I'm just going to roll out the chapatis. Najua watu wengi wanaogopa kutengeneza chapati because of the processes, especially hapa kwa kuroll. I'm trying, they're not that circular, but I know I'm doing my best. Provided they are evenly spread. At times ukiroll chapati unagundua katikati it's lighter than huku kando. So what you do, you have to make sure that your chapatis, your dough is evenly spread while making your chapatis. So let's do this alafu tuzikaushe. So I was heating my pan when I started rolling out the chapatis, and right away let's dry them. Tumalizane na process ya kuroll, then we'll fry them with ghee. So what I'm doing right now ni kuzikausha tu kwa pan. Ukiona bubbles zimeanza kuapia hapo juu, as you can see there are some bubbles, it means they are drying up. The essence of drying haikwangi tu necessarily eti unga ishikane ndo isikusumbue ku fry, but it's also to help the chapatis ziive ndani. And I prefer while drying them that they turn kinda brown, but pia kama haziturn but zinaiva tu ndani vizuri, it's okay. But when they turn kinda brown, when ukizichoma na mafuta, they don't overstay on the pan. So let's do the drying, then tutazichoma na mafuta baadaye. So stay tuned, let's make the chapatis together hadi mwisho. Just stay in here, stay tuned, don't go anywhere. See the process, you will appreciate it. I'm almost done with the drying process and the rolling process too. And so let's now start frying the chapatis. I'm using ghee, as you can see. Let me spread evenly across the chapati dough, and that's what I'm doing. I'm allowing it to cook for some time, then I spin the chapatis. So that's it. Stay tuned, guys. Remember to subscribe to my channel, to comment on my videos, and also to like my videos. And look at them, they're so soft and they turned out so amazing. So remember to subscribe, to like and comment on my videos. Bye bye.